I'd like to call this meeting to order. We need a roll call.
Rachel? Here. Katie?
Here.
Sarah?
Here.
Doug?
Here.
Lori? Here. Gary? Here. Jeff?
Here. Items to be added or changed to the agenda.
There's not.
Okay. This is our board organization meeting for 2025, and I'll do it just as I did last year. We'll start with officer election discussion. We'll need a motion, entertain motions for the office of president.
I'll nominate Sarah for board president.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I do have a comment maybe to make.
Sure.
So I know I had been reflecting about the discussion that we had at Thursday's workshop, and it was mentioned that there was maybe some events that took place at the closed meeting in December. And I was not at that meeting, so I'm not sure what occurred at that meeting. But I would be concerned in supporting Sarah as president only because I don't know what occurred at that meeting. And I don't know if there's any underlying strife or conflict related to the events that occurred in that meeting that might cause or impact the collaboration or communication that the president and the superintendent are supposed to have going forward.
Okay. Any other?
I support Sarah because she has been on the board longer than the rest of us, minus Katie and Jeff. And Jeff had expressed that maybe he wants to step down. And Sarah has also been involved with Michigan Association of School Boards, taking classes to prepare her for the role of president. And I know we can't talk about details of what happened in the closed meeting, but it was a comment. So it wasn't something that was a big mark, but something she felt she should apologize for.
Other discussion?
I guess the one thing, I didn't say I didn't want to do it. I said I would do whatever the board needs.
I guess I talked to Jeff earlier, I guess it was last week too, about the fact that I take this very seriously. It's not something that I take on, the thought of taking on the president, I do not take that on lightly. And, which is why I felt like I needed to apologize at last week's meeting, just because I wanted the board to know I'm taking this very seriously and I'm not taking this lightly. And the only thing I want is to see Gaylord schools excel and be excellent and be amazing. And that's my goal, and not to hurt Gaylord schools in any way. And I want to only better be, as the role of the president, to only make Gaylord schools better, or to really to communicate, get the board communicating better. I think the calendar that I created for us, things like that, where we can we're communicating better. All the classes I've taken have said the president's number one role is to be the conduit of information. Mr. Craycraft says, hey, this is what's going on to the president, and the president sends that information out to the board. The board says, hey, I'm really uncomfortable with this. And, if you particularly are like, hey, what was that? I can go, Mr. Craycraft, what's up with that? Lori's upset or wondering what that was. And then I can take it back. That's the job of the president. So, and that is what I would like to see improved on. So in this role, that's the number one thing I would like to see improved on for our board, because I think that would help us to work together better and to not have the polarization if we're actually just communicating throughout the month at different times. So.
And I would just like to add that I think, Mr. Craycraft, we all have great confidence that you can work with any of us. And I don't think there's that's the mark of a good leader. And I think you've shown that. You can work with all of us, and I think we are working well as a board. So I think Sarah would do great.
Okay, thank you. Other discussion? Anything else? Okay,
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
No.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
No.
Lori?
No.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff?
No.
okay.
3-4.
4, motion does not pass. Any another motion?
I'd make a motion to nominate Jeff Weber as the board president.
I would second the motion to appoint Jeff Weaver as president.
Okay. Discussion?
I support Jeff. I think he's done a good job. I think he's the most knowledgeable about the position. And Sarah, I understand your communication, wanting that to be better, so I think that Jeff's willing to do that. And whatever it takes to better communicate with all of us, whatever our needs are.
I disagree on the communication portion because we've been working on that for 2 years, and it's actually been pointed out by Michigan Association of School Boards that we still need to work on that. And that is the president's position, and he's been doing it for 16 years. And I think we need a new face. I mean, just freshen it up, and we've got new board members to support a different face, and I would like to see a change.
I would just say that, Jeff, I think you've done a fine job. I think communication, I think you agree that even, communication can be better. It's not really even about that, it's about just a change, You've done it for a long time, and, nothing lasts forever. We need to have some, changing in different roles so that we can all step in if you can't be there or, whatever. I just think that it would just shore up our board to have some change in different positions and help us just understand, what is that job entails, because it's definitely more than just being a board member. And with you being on board, you could mentor someone else. I was actually going to nominate Carrie, and just try to just have some change. That's really all it is. It's just a good time for some change.
And we talked about implementing term limits too, and you were in favor of that also, so.
Any more discussion, board?
Rachel?
No.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
No.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
No.
Jeff?
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes. We'll move on to the election of the office of vice president. Entertaining motions for vice president.
I'll vote or nominate Sarah for vice president.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Can I ask why?
Why I nominated you?
Yeah.
After our conversation and hearing everybody, if we want to make a change, I'm all for a change. Don't get me wrong. It needs to be for the right reason. It needs to be, I want you to be involved in this, to communicate. Everybody talks about the communication. Yes, I'm the president. I'm getting the blame for it. Fine, I can take it. That's no problem. But this needs to be a two-way communication. It needs to be a 7-way communication. And I think we can all agree that that's not happened. There is a divide. There's 3, and then there's the other 4 that were here. The 2 are not involved in that. I want to get rid of all that. I want to communicate with everybody. I want to work collaboratively with everybody. I'd like to take the next year and work with you, mentor you, and get you ready. To go back to your question, again, we can't talk about it, but what was said in that meeting was kind of more of the same thing that just has continued to happen. And to me, I struggled. I thought about it after our conversation. I thought about it a lot. And I told you when we talked, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I want to help you to get to this role where you can do this role. I'll do the best. I've tried over the years that you've been on the board. I'll continue to try. Am I perfect? No. Can I communicate better? Yeah. I'll do my best. But I'm also asking for all 7 of us to communicate better. I guess
Yes.
maybe it's the 5. Nah, I know you guys are just coming in. But the 5 of us have been here. Let's do better. That's all I'm asking. That's why I nominate you.
Okay.
Other discussion for Sarah's nomination for vice president? Hearing none?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, passes 7-0. Taking nominations for the office of secretary.
I will nominate Carrie for secretary.
I will second.
Discussion? Hearing none?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, progressing right along. Finally, for this portion, the nominations for the office of treasurer.
Do you want to? It doesn't matter. Yes, I can do treasurer, sure.
I nominate Katie for treasurer.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
President Weber?
All
The
right.
meeting is yours.
We'll move on to setting the meeting dates, times, and places. It is recommended that the Board of Education establish the second Monday of each month at 6 p.m. as the regular board meeting time, and the board room at the Board of Education building as the regular meeting place. So this room, 6 o'clock. So we need a first and a second on that.
I make a motion to have it on Monday nights at 6 o'clock.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on time? Okay?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Designation of depositories. It is recommended the Board of Education name Huntington National Bank and Michigan Liquid Asset Fund as the depositories for all Gaylord Community Schools funds as presented.
I'll make a motion to name Huntington National Bank and Michigan Liquid Asset Fund as the depositories for Gaylord Community Schools.
I'll second it.
Any questions on those depositories? Okay?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Authorization of signatures. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the superintendent's and the board treasurer's signatures as authorized paymaster signatures for the accounts with the depository accounts listed above as presented.
I'll make the motion to approve the superintendent's and board treasurer's signatures as authorized paymaster signatures of the accounts of the depository accounts listed.
That was a lot.
I'll second that.
Any questions on that?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Appointment of deputy secretaries. It is recommended the board appoint the superintendent and the executive administrative assistant to the superintendent as deputy secretaries for the Board of Education. Their function is primarily to handle the election procedures and to record meeting minutes as presented.
So moved. Does that work?
You don't want to wait.
Did I say so moved?
Right.
Ditto.
I'll second it.
I think that was the ditto. The ditto was the second one.
Okay, all right.
So you made it and then Sarah?
No, somebody
it
down there
don't, or
did
don't.
it.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
And then Sarah? Okay. Okay.
Any questions on that? Okay.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes,
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Appointment of designated election funds officer. It is recommended that the board appoint the Director of Business and Finance to serve as a designated electronic funds officer as presented.
I will motion to appoint the Director of Business and Finance to serve as our designated electronic funds officer.
I will second it.
Any questions on that? Okay.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes,
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Appointment of FOIA coordinator. It is recommended the board appoint the executive administrative assistant to the superintendent to serve as the FOIA coordinator as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the executive assistant to serve as the FOIA coordinator.
I will second.
Any questions? Okay.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
yes,
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Appointment of Title IX officer. It is recommended the board appoint the Director of Human Resources and Employee Relations to serve as the Title IX officer as presented.
I'll make a motion to appoint the Director of Human Resources and Employee Relations to serve as Title IX officer.
I will second it.
Question on that? Okay.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
yes,
Doug?
Yes.
Lori? Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Board memberships. It is recommended that the board continue memberships for the 2025 year in the following associations: Michigan Association of School Boards, Michigan Negotiators Association, subscription to ASBA Journal, Michigan Institute of Educational Management, Michigan High School Athletic Association, Michigan Association of School Administrators, Michigan School Business Officials, Michigan Association of School Personnel Administrators.
So moved.
See, that might be the ditto one.
ditto.
Any questions on those?
Rachel.
First and second.
Rachel and Sarah.
New year, new terms.
Okay. Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes,
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Appointment of school legal counsel. It is recommended the board approve Truin Law Firm PC and Clark Hill Law Firm as legal counsel for Gaylord Community Schools for 2025 as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve Truin and Clark Hill for legal counsel.
I'll second it.
Any questions on those? Okay.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes,
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Board committees. It is recommended the board establish the committee of a whole as presented.
I will make a motion that we establish a committee as a whole as presented.
I will second it.
And just, maybe you're gonna, just so everybody, this is going to be on Tuesday at noon.
Correct.
Tuesday,
Tuesday proceeding.
yeah, correct, before our regular board meeting. So we're going to move from a Thursday to a Tuesday at noon and see how this goes.
So, just a quick question. In our bylaws, section 8, which we have here, where it says, no committee may consist of more than 3 board members, we are now changing that. So do we need to,
Yes.
Change that first.
That'll have to be changed.
is that a separate motion we have to make now for that? Or I mean, since we're changing to the committee of the whole, I think we have to change these.
Okay, I need a motion for that.
So we'll have to finish up this one first.
Yeah.
So any other questions on committee as a whole, time, place?
I do have a question.
Shoot.
If we, is it gonna be for a whole year? If it's not working, can we have a
No, what we
discussion to?
What we
change it,
discuss is
have
we're gonna
added?
give it till at least June,
Okay,
6 months.
okay.
And then if, unless it's a total
Nightmare.
chaos,
Okay.
then we can go. But right now, our initial discussion on Thursday was, we'll give it at least 6 months, give it to then and see how it works. At that point in time, we'll evaluate it, or if it is a train wreck in March, then we'll switch back to our regular committees and go from there. Okay?
Seems fair.
Any other questions?
Rachel,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes,
Jeff.
Yes. We'll come back to that.
Motion carries, and then I can add another motion right here, so we can make a motion to,
Motion should say till June.
wait, I just,
To change the
yeah, I'm gonna
policy.
motion, to amend Article 1 bylaw, Section 8, committees, to say that we're going to committee of the whole.
Yeah. Well, I was actually gonna just strike that last sentence altogether.
Strike that, okay?
I mean, then it's just, it will say the board may create standing or ad hoc committees to gather information for and make recommendations to the board. We could change, it says.
So you're not
president shall-
committed to a specific,
Right,
time
and then
or-
it says the president shall appoint the members of the committees. I think, we're still gonna need a committee for disciplinary
Disciplinary.
things. And so that would still be,
Still need to have
Board
just a
president.
small committee.
That was on, as needed basis, and I would just, I probably would need chairs for each committee is what you probably need to designate.
so even though it's a committee of whole, we still would have a
Yeah,
chair for
so if you had
that
any-
representing.
so a representative.
Oh, we'd have some, it wouldn't be
You'd a
run,
committee of the whole, but you'd still have a chair, so you needed, if someone needed to address this, they could talk to the chair, and the chair could bring it, back to.
okay.
You do it in committee of whole, but I think you still would need a chair. So I don't know, you point members, you point maybe a chair, but it's up to you guys.
so, do you wanna look at this and come back to this?
Yeah, let's, can we move forward? Let's table this for now, or do you need to make it?
We need to make a motion, well, we
So-
need to make some kind of motion that we are going to committee of the whole. We could tweak this policy later to read, but we do need, because it will reflect that the change.
All right, well, let's do that.
This is an easy fix. I mean, we can make a motion. It would just say the president shall appoint the members of the committees and committee chairpersons.
I'm
That
fine
would
with that,
just-
yeah.
And then strike
just
that last
Strike
one.
the last sentence.
and we still need a separate disciplinary committee though, right?
Right,
Like,
that would
it
still
does
give
need
him
it.
that.
And that one will be, kind of, we'll call and see who's available.
That's how
and-
it's been.
Yeah,
I did
well,
the chair and then
so
just
if
called.
we get a hold of the three of you, then you can go, then the three of you will go. If it's, there's three, that three, whatever, so.
Okay, so Rachel, you're making
Okay,
a
so
motion.
I will make a motion to amend Article 1 of our bylaws, Section 8, to strike the last sentence, no committee may consist of more than 3 board members, and to insert at the end of the preceding sentence, so that it would read, the president shall appoint the members of committees, then insert and committee chairpersons.
Okay.
People, chairpersons.
So we need a second.
I do need a second.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Everybody's relatively clear on what we're gonna do here? Okay.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes,
Jeff Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Board stipend. It is recommended the board approve the amendment to policy Article 1 bylaw, Section 7, compensation and reimbursement. Board member stipend of $40 per committee of a whole and regular board meetings as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to policy Article 1 bylaws, Section 7, compensation and reimbursement, and board member stipends of $40 per committee of the whole and regular board meetings.
I will second it.
Questions on that? Okay.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Now we need one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Harry?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes. And we have a little less than 5 minutes before we can start the next meeting.